Hello everyone, I think we are live. Let me just check that. Yes, we are live. Or not, I don't know, let me see. Hello everyone. Oh yeah, we are live. Welcome to another MCP Tuesday. As usual, I'll be checking that the sounds are all good and all of that. Let me just check. Good for me. So let me just open other browser tabs and so on to keep track of the chat. And I actually need to be better at this because it's hard to know, to kind of look at all of the chats. I have one screen here that should kind of bring chat from all of places, but yeah, I don't know, normally it doesn't quite work well for me because I don't know how to pay attention to multiple things at the same time. So let's see. Yeah, I get a YouTube chat, the Twitch chat. We are listening to Suno generated music, and I'm drinking coffee from this mug, which has the lovely what is it? Caffeine molecule. I actually just finished that coffee, so let's get into it. What I'm gonna show today is something that, as Arcade releases more MCP features, I had the idea of implementing different agentic patterns that are more sophisticated than a simple React agent, right? And you will see this in upcoming videos. But basically, well, it's not this one. Let me just open another one and actually make my screen easier to read, right? So the project is called Gmail Agents, but actually it's gonna become larger than that. So this started just as me sort of like building agents for a video. Let me see, settings, profile, streams. This is super massive, but here we are. Let me move my face because I'm gonna be in cursor quite a bit today. So I'm gonna move it to, and I'm gonna size this so that it's about the width of my head. So while I do that, let's restart cursor. So the idea of this app is basically that I want it to be a kitchen sink app for Arcade. And what that means is that I want to use all of the features from Arcade, skip, right, and connect it to this, right? So for example, if I need an agent that implements a specific pattern, I want to be able to very quickly tell Cursor or any other agent, any other coding agent, to just use this specific template. You have the code and extend it so that I have a centralized way to manage all of the Arcade things, and I can focus on the agent architecture. That would be the interesting bit, right? For now, and actually let me show you it running. Do I have it running? Yes, I do. Right. So it's built with better T-Stack. So one good thing about it is that it's written in TypeScript, right? So it's a mono repo. This is everything you need. Let me just close all of the environment stuff. And basically the way this looks is, right, it has a gallery of agents. That's why I call it the agent gallery. and I will improve the UI at some point. But for example, I have this, right, and I can create new sessions, and all of them are chatbots for now. But the idea is that the UI for the specific agents can be also very dynamic, right? And there are some things that I was implementing just before I started streaming this, which is I want to try other models, not just OpenAI. I want to try different frameworks to build the same thing. So the idea is to have this kind of gallery of agents with the supporting implementation, so that it's easy to extend them, build similar things, or connect other tools if you want, do whatever you want essentially, right? So it's gonna be like a recipe book for agents that of course will be grounded in Arcade and MCP and so on, right? So for now the Arcade MCP tools will live on Python, so it's gonna be sort of like a companion to this server. But I hope very soon we can also do some sort of like tool design and tool evaluation also within this very project, the agent gallery, right? So if I go here, you will see a section maybe at some point where I can say I want to evaluate this agent, choose a specific MCP gateway from Arcade or something like that, and then connect them and evaluate them, and then see how well this will work, right? So, and because it's it's a production application, so it's running on localhost. So if I wanted to really productize this, I would need a proper server with a proper domain and all of that. But from Arcade's point of view, if I go to my dashboard, you would see that this app is actually what I would consider production. Whoa, that rather found. Let me see. API.arcade.dashboard. Okay, there we go. There is something working in that link. It's another thing I need to report, but for now, we go to the dashboard, and this app is essentially linked to this specific demo, right? So again, Arcade, and let me see if I can make it. Yeah. So this is the 100%. Is easier to see for me. This at the moment does not rely on MCP gateway. I can just remove this, no problem. The app will continue, right? And the idea will be at some point use these sort of capabilities, and the way this is connected is to that agent, right? So my user verification is the production custom user verifier. So I am able to use my own OAuth applications connected to Arcade, right? And that's that's the point, I guess, of this project, which is bring people to understand how this works, to understand all of the pieces, set up all of this in a multi-user agent way, first and foremost, right? So, if you want to see, like, for example, what's interesting about these three agents is that, let me go back, one agent. For example, this one, the inbox summarizer, right? What's special about this is if I trigger it, it will not start with a fully agentic step at the very beginning. It starts with a workflow, right? So, and all of this is super deterministic, right? There are some things that I need to do, like this is the things, the tools that it has access to: create event, delete event, find time slot, or whatever, all of that. Then it will list emails, and I need to fix the UI, and maybe this is something I do on this stream, kind of polish the UI and see, yeah, for example, this is list emails. I need to differentiate between the tool call and the tool result. Get emails. Yeah, this is the output, right? So, but this is the output of the actual step, right? So, in this case, for example, this agent uses a different class underneath, right? So if I go here, we'll see the inbox summarizer, right? And the idea is, I'm still polishing the interface and all of that, but the idea is if I go to the outline and I expand it up so everybody can see it, is that this agent it has an inbox summarizer, it has a series of steps. So these are essentially the phases or the stages of this agent, which is initialize the tools, get emails, summarize email, assemble report that honestly needs a different name. It's not a report actually. But the function of this agent is that I guess the system instructions or the system prompt of this agent will be dynamic based on the emails that are on my inbox whenever I call this agent, right? So, for example, initialize tools, and let me go to the functions here. There is a bunch of like session management that it should not be in this specific class. All of these should actually belong to the parent agent, which is gonna be the meta agent that talks to the UI. But for now, this works. So let's go to, where is it? It's called run agent. Run step. Run agent. There you go. So this is the main entry point, right? All of the messages come from the UI, and we need to kind of recreate the wheel a little bit, because the idea of this project is also that I can use, for example, OpenRouter or OpenAI Agents SDK independently of one another, right? So I could handle raw LLM calls and build my own specific LLM flow or the LLM loop, so that I decide specifically what the agent architecture will be without relying on a specific framework if I don't want to. And then how does that affect the tool calling layer as well, right? So let me see what else. Right, so yeah, I need to fix all of the types as well as I learn TypeScript. I don't know if this is the best, right? At the moment, we essentially have agent sessions that are shared between the backend and the front end. And I want as well, like an event stream, right? That's the model I want to adopt. At the moment, it's not quite there. So this will emit, a workflow. So this is going to be, the non-agentic piece of this agent. It's going to execute workflow steps. Right? So I go here, and is basically if we are here while the step exists, and the step is not the agentic step, which is the free chat, then I essentially jump, and the idea is that I could restart this. So I just load the session, I load the messages, and the session will have this state, which will say, this is the current step of this agent. I don't need to, start from the beginning or whatever. If I initialize the tool and all that, I can just continue. So it has this function called run step, right? And this is just a switch, right? So it will say initialize tools, get emails, summarize emails, assemble report, right? And what these do in the background is each of these functions will modify the state of the agent, and I can suspend, I guess, the agent in time, right? And a lot of this overlaps with what an agentic framework would give you, like all of the state management or the graph management is something like, something like LangGraph will store for you, right? But I don't think we need, for this project, to go to the complexity of like lower level LangGraph. So what they use is called pre-LangGraph, right? Where is it? Or I guess it's the Google, Google Pre-gel system. I don't know if Pre-gel or something, or how it is, but basically this is the computational model adopted by Landgraph. And the idea is basically you have message passing between nodes in discrete supersteps, persistent layer through checkpointers, which is what they do for interrupts and human in the loop and all of that, and then first class streaming support for updates and events and all of that. Right? So this is extremely useful and extremely powerful. And if I wanted to kind of abstract on top of this at a very lower level, I would do that. But I think I don't need to do all of that complexity, add all of that complexity to just my version of the communication between the agent interface, which is at the moment it's going to be just a chatbot. But as I add more things like ambient agents, background agents, things that do agent-to-agent communication and all of that, I don't think I need the entire expressiveness of something like Pre-gel, I don't know how to pronounce this, but yeah, I don't think I need all of this network theory attached to my system. So it's gonna be way simpler than that. And the way I like to think about it is just sort of like that spectrum that lives in between a deterministic workflow and a fully agentic system that more often than not these days looks like a chatbot. Right? So what I'm gonna do today, with a lot of help from my friend Cursor and Sonnet 4.5, right, is gonna be, whoa, I want to know why, and let me see if this is true for the more agentic ones. Like, let's see, hi, my what's please summarize my latest 3 emails. Right, so this agent has access to Gmail, the arcade Gmail MCP server. So in the background, it should be calling the tool. Yeah. So yeah, this says tool, Gmail list, whatever, and this is the result. So I'm happy to see that the result is coming correctly here. But there are some things that I want to fix. Right. First is that this needs to be a little bit better. Let me see how it looks in light mode. Yeah, it looks alrightish. But I don't know if I'm a super fan of how this looks. I would love to be able to maybe navigate this JSON or something. And I would like to see the actual parameters sent to the tool in this box. So this should be tool invocation and then tool resort, or like tool calling, call, whatever, and then result. And there will be things that happen in between. Like, for example, if I say like, please send a random haiku to torresmateo@gmail.com. This music is too classical for me. Let me just change it to somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Vibing. Yeah, exactly. For example, this one, I want to know what the parameters were before I get to the tool approval required, right? And I will show you how to implement this human in the loop verification. Is very simple. I don't quite rely for this I'm using the OpenAI Agents SDK TypeScript, right? There you go. Then I think human in the loop. Yeah, so this has this needs approval is true thing. So I need to change my function to add this one thing. And that's fine because, you know, they will handle the interrupts for me, and then I need to pass these decisions to the UI. Click, you know, view parameters. You know, I can see the parameters here, but I should have been able to see that here, right? Because the invocation actually happened, like the LLM expressed the intention to call the tool, right? Then I approve this. Right, so then again, another invocation, right? So this was retried, and then here is a different error, right? So it says input during execution tool segment error tool input deserialization, right? And there is something I want to expose here, which is the what is it? The developer message coming from Arcade. And I know why this failed, right? And this failed because CC and BCC are null, right? And maybe this is something that I need to be better at, you know, defining, for example, in the tool definition. Like, it should not be null, it should default to an empty list, for example, right? Or make a stronger case that if you don't need this, don't pass it or whatever, so that I don't have to run all of the time into this specific case where if CC and BCC are null, the tool will fail because it doesn't know how to serialize that, right? And that's another message, which is this should be done in Python. And I don't know why this agent is working. There you go. And that's a state that is bad. What's up, Juan Flores? How's it going? Happy to see you in the stream. And sorry if I did a super delay in replying to the chat. I need to just put the chat in my face here and be better at replying to the chat. If you're still there, happy to see you here, buddy. Right, so agent is still working. That's a lie, but we'll see. So I want to first clean up all of the sending of the events, right? So this is I'm gonna use plan mode first, and I'm gonna do it with GPT-1 5.1 codex. And I'm gonna say plan. I'm gonna say I want to consolidate all of the agentic interface between the server and the UI in a single class that then I can extend with specific implementations using things like the AI agent or the open router agent, so they are forced to respect my interface. I want to move all of the event handling to this class and not redefine any of the event system emission system into the specific classes. Please read those agents and write this class, and I want to actually move this up here, close the outline, and I want to put this, where do I want it? Into the agents package. You will need to update the types that are used right now in the what is it, server that consumes the package. Please make the plan as detailed as possible. Right. In the meantime, I want to sort of design that interface as this thing is thinking. I want to design the interface so that I really abstract away all of the things that I need, right? So I'm gonna make a list on my own about what I want the agent gallery to be kind of conceptually, right? So let me open a whimsical board. This is not the one I want. I want streams. I'm gonna open a new one, and this is gonna be 5, 11, 15. This is gonna be agent gallery specs. Right. All right, and then basically I have the UI component, which, you know, its own thing, lives in the browser, whatever. And then I have the server. So my server only needs, and I'm gonna remove the text there and add one here. It's gonna be the server. Then the server will talk to multiple components, and I guess this should be like larger here. So we'll have the endpoints that we all know and love, like for example, you know, the verifier, and I want to make this like mint or whatever. So that's gonna be the verifier. It also has the string, or like, I guess, session ID, chat stream. I don't want, well, chat stream is probably fine because I think there will be two types of agent in this regard. There will be the, I don't want to call it chat, although I probably should, because the idea here will be that, yes, I want to go away from the chat analogy of agents and all of that, but I want to, there will still be the idea of like a conversation, or, you know, how we model context and all of that will be interactive, and that will be stream, right? So session interactive stream, and then I think I need another one that's gonna be not necessarily a session. So this will be like, so this is gonna be this session. How do I call it right now? Dashboard agent ID, new session. So this actually already has this kind of architecture. So if I go to the network tab and I refresh, I will get get session, this is another one, session, agents, sessions, get me this one. Then if I say hi or something, I get a stream, agent session. This is gonna be that session with the specific agent. So the lookup will be internal, and then chat stream. Right? So I guess like chat is okay. Um, but I don't like the word chat. That's the entire thing. I just want to move it to, okay, let's see, define shared base agent, protected getters of first classes, down on the animation hardware, and waiting input to call started, input to call completed, private share utilities, agent run action, etc. It's doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Never need to re-implement it. Okay. Modify this to extend new base agent, remove local copies of the enterprise system, existing logic, interacts with the new base class contract without regressions, update upload agent implementation, duplicated helper methods with inherited one, wiring close to super, overall behavior to loading to load pro, interact while agents share the event helpers. Yeah, that's correct. Update types include the new helper, re-export new base interface, ensure existing consumers, continue to compile against the structure, modify this one, for the share agent interface type from email instead of defining, oh, this is very good. Relevant checks, ultraside check, or existing switches. Build it. Okay, let's see how that looks like. Run agent has this and that, correct. Let's see. To change the song. Actually want this one again. I wanna generate more of that actually. No lyrics. Well, Scotland inspired. Advanced options. Weirdness a little bit. Style influence a lot. Scottish dance. And inspirational. Very good. Right. Growth pattern. Agentic number and structure. That's right. public tool call started, arguments. Tool call completed, prepare session state, and this is something that we may want to modify in the future, but I think we are fine for now. So we'll see, persistent if needed, handle agent error. I like this one. Based agent. All required, immediate. Yep. All of that comes from the agent, the base class. Also, all of the emission comes from there. Emit events for new item. That's alright here because this is specific to how opening an agent SDK works. So I keep that, keep this, keep that, remove all of that, yes. Yep, simplify that. What is this one? Prepare sessions there, persistent if needed, handle agent error, get config, that's alright, it goes away, update config also, this stays, okay, agent option, this one I'm not so precious about, but let's keep it all because this I need to test it. I need to test it better, and this is sort of like also semi-relying on the OpenAI client to interact with OpenRouter, so I'm not super precious about it, and it will probably work anyway. Yep. This is the agents, yes. Agent and option. Agents route, yes, I want that. This, yes. Get rid of that. Yes. So this one, I'm not sure we need that, but okay, we'll see. Okay. That probably broke a lot of things. Let's check. Back, start the thing, new session, hello, and then chaos ensues. Let's see, the result, yeah, we still didn't fix that. Yeah, this is alright. Yeah, like, I don't know why I get this, right? So, we'll see. How can I help you? Yeah. So at least this finished, so I didn't break the flow, and that means this is kind of like the innermost agent that works. So if that's using this other one, hi, Please summarize my latest 3 emails. What's the string? Oh, there. No parameters. Yay, result. Then yes. Good job. So yeah, it didn't really break anything, so it's an excellent time to commit this to the code. So let me do just that. I'm gonna zoom into this dude, say git status git minus m. What do I want to say? Base agent now handles all event emission. Right? There will be more. Yeah. There you go. So let's run this here actually. Run, check. And then I want to add all of that to the domain. Chat. Please help me with these errors one by one. Do not fix all of them once. Give a summary. One sentence. Thanks. Let me decide what to do. And then I'm gonna use this dude. Boom. We'll see. You know, agents. And also, like from my point of view, the screen is absolutely gigantic. The font size is just enormous. So like I'm happy reading this, and I don't know actually how to make it bigger for you guys. What about our music actually? I like it. And I like a Viking inspired battle song. Oh shit, I didn't change the title. It's gonna be Viking stuff. Let's see. This looks fine. Fetch. It's fine. Let's see if we broke anything. Okay. New one. Same thing. Let's see. There's an error. What's the one that is complaining about? Okay. That's a warning. Where is this? So this is the base agent. Why doesn't it? Let's see the. No, this is correct. Chat stream. Wait. What do you mean, my boy? Okay. I don't know if I agree with all of that, but type. Oh my god. I do? What the hell? Where does it need you though? I am confused. OpenAI agent. Agents. Which one is this one? I guess this has to be the OpenAI agent. It used to be that one. Which one? Wait. What the fuck? Wait, did I just fix this? Oh my god. Fixing this is so annoying when you did it before. this one. Wait. Okay. Okay. Amazing. That took a while to fix. Okay. I need to learn the rules about like this one. There is a lot of like stuff that I don't agree with, like no explicit ending. Why? Or this like unexpected empty block. What the hell? Like, right? And then I fix this by like we ignore the error here, and then that fixes it. This is fucking. Then excessive complexity, and I want to configure what complexity I want for this, because some of these are just going to be complex and I don't mind it necessarily. Then this is like use a weight, but this is also like, right? So this just calls that one, and then like that one is gonna be a base agent is gonna be the run. Where is it? This one is async, right? So it will return a promise. Why? I mean, is this a TypeScript thing? Like TypeScript define an async abstract class. Abstract function? I don't know. Yeah, but then I get the stupid fucking chat. I need chat. Oh, fuck. No shadow. Use a weight like this, right? That's a whole thing to complain about something that. How do you want me to do it, dude? Yeah, that. How am I supposed to fix this if I need an abstract async function in this case? Wait, what? You don't need async if you're only returning a promise. Checking how run agent is used, confirm. You don't need async to return a promise that colors can wait. In oh. Makes sense. Okay, for now that's fine, I think, but there's still some errors, so let me just like reload projects, like restart TypeScript restart server. All right, that seems to have fixed all of the annoying little icons over there. I don't want to see that distribution one. Whoa, what's the problem? I'm saying. Well, but then. Right. Okay, so that should be running, I think. Let me see. Probably no, because it's like super stale. Let me just restart that, run it again. Go here to that agent. Yeah, new session. Please summarize my latest 3 emails. We are in classical music town. Let's start again. Whoa. So we will look for function. I don't need that though. And then raw call, raw item. Call. Can it come in all these flavors though? Wait, who calls this that? It's a raw item. This is too zoomed in for me to properly understand it. So I'm gonna change the profile just for a little bit because I am. Arguments. It will always be arguments and it will always be a string, so we just need to, I guess, do that. Right. So we only need to handle that case in here. That's it. Tool call item, extract tool name, call ID, and arguments. Get row item. So I care. Yeah, so I only care about that, and I'm gonna that's fine. Get tool name. It's gonna be name. So it's this. Same stuff here. Call ID. Call ID. Go. And then this has to be a string, so if it. And I guess in the future I can actually make this easier for folks. So, you know, then no, I just need arguments. So this is gonna be just an object. Otherwise, this is what I'm going to return. Argument string, then correct, that's what I want, and get rid of all of this stuff. Let's see if that improved this server. I'll say, please summarize my latest 3 emails. Or maybe that kill it. Oh, there you go. View result. Oh shit. Okay. Well, what am I actually printing there? Get to calling, then okay, should have seen that event though. Arguments. Okay, so this dude. When I emit to call start, when I call emit to call started, see the arguments in the console, but I don't see the arguments displayed in the actual chat log. Why? Let it read through the thing and tell me. Okay, that should have fixed it. Please summarize my latest 3 emails. Yeah. I'm a little bit divided on if I want to show all of this. It's true that Arcade will return this all the time, but I don't know if I want to show all of that or only the output or the value actually by default. So this is the actual object that we are supposed to consume, right? So I don't know. There you go. Does this apply also to this dude here? Actually, I can just talk to that. Please my latest 3 emails. And that should be, I mean, if everything I did was correct, this should also call the tool, right? No, but in this case, those are summaries in context. I received more emails since then. Please get them again from my inbox. Right, so that's one thing that is also a good point, a good learning point about these agents is that because the way this agent works and all of the context is modified at the beginning. Whoa, that's interesting. But because that is true, yeah, it really wants to rely on its context and it believes that's the most up-to-date thing. So there is an agentic pattern that I'm experimenting with, and I will start experimenting that also during live streams, which is for each message, like how do you expire the previous context so that the agent doesn't gaslight itself into believing that whatever is already in the context is the latest of the latest, right? So this experience here makes sense when I run the agent, but we need to put sort of like a context expiration date, I suppose, for some of the things where we can infer it, right? That kind of ties back into that idea of my video about the chat analogy with agents, which I don't think is very good. And something that is not very good about that is that it's very hard to decorate these things like time to live, expiry dates, and all that kind of like constellation of like features or things that should be added for context engineering, right? So it's a bit difficult for me to say, right? But I like this, right? I want to know if we go back here and yeah, it preserves all of the information, and that's really good. So I'm happy about that. And I want to kind of clean all of the sessions now because I have like a bunch already here. But we did quite a bit of progress today. I'm happy with how this works. I want to just test one thing, which is the open router one. If I start a new one, I want to say, please summarize my latest 3 emails, right? If I do that, and I go to the network tab, the payload should headers. Oh, let's see. when did I provider open router? Yeah, that worked. Yeah, but basically, yeah, we fixed this specific thing, right? But yeah, the response is not quite sanitized and all of that. So these, yeah, we get a lot of errors here. 100 rejection. Well, that's new. 336 in OpenAI agents. OpenAI agents. I don't know why. I mean, let's see. Oops. Oh, what do you mean? 336. Unhandled rejection. Am I in the wrong? Is it React maybe? Maybe this is from before. Let me just want to check if that is a problem. Please summarize my latest 3 emails, and then we go to the server. Nothing. So yeah, it was an error from before. I just freaked out for a second. But yeah, basically the problem now will be with a new session. I changed this to open router. New session with open router. Say, please summarize my latest 3 emails. And I get another tool call, and now I should. I don't know if I will see the error because there's not a lot of console allowed in this kind of flow. Which is a bit annoying, to be honest. Yeah, there you go. Then the stream is gonna be tool completed. Then tool call completed. Complete. Finishes things up, and then just this random message here. So we need to polish a little bit of the, the way all of these sort of like event handling is managed. But I'm quite happy where we are right. So as we continue to build this, I think it's gonna be awesome as a kitchen sink app for arcade in general. So let me just check that one, run check. Yeah, 2 hours, yay. Let's handle this in cursor. Read only tools, but then what do you mean? I'll handle this later. Why is this an error though? That's really annoying, man. Alright, so I'm happy with that for today, and in the next time I will continue to work on this on my own as I build more demos and so on. So I guess a recurring part of the stream is gonna be now I show you that the gallery has more agents, I walk through the agents specifically. I didn't quite explore, let me just put my face here. In today's stream, we went over the agent gallery. It's a new project, it's an agent sync. Let me say that again. In today's stream, we worked on the agent gallery. We implemented all of the ways in which Arcade MCP can be providing you with tools and then using this agent gallery as a kitchen sink app to all of the things that you could use and you would like to use with Arcade. These are things like the custom user verifier, how to connect tools to different frameworks, how to do different agentic architectures and things like that. I showed kind of the in the weeds of inbox summarizer that is half deterministic and half agentic, which is a useful pattern when you want to inject a specific context that is maybe dynamic and changing based on things like the new emails in your inbox. There are other two agents that have that are just React agents. So I have one implemented with the OpenAI Agents SDK in TypeScript, and the other one is implemented using OpenRouter, and in this case uses the Kimike2 thinking model. In that case, the OpenRouter one, we broke it as we were organizing the application, but I'll fix that in the next stream. So until the next time, guys, happy dealing.